You ain't no Israelite, but you a gospelite, bitch.
What you talking about?
If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. How can I keep that stick locked, loaded, but he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named the Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft cold shit, we bought it. UPK, you solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch. Sharp on shit, I'm about it. UPK, too solid. Fuck nigga don't want war. It ain't enough clips in your army. All the bitches wanna take my piece. All the hoes wanna take my piece. All the nigga wanna take my piece. No, I can't let a dog take it from me. I can't let a dog take it from me. You a hoe study and you dummy. And these bitches really out this bitch walking around like they don't know nothing. And a lame nigga fall for them and get set up for the coins and get gunned down, man down. Should've took the time, get a damn no. But I see the starter and I show her. She could never get a piece home. You a dirt ass, rust that neck bitch with a fake ass jury. In Tennessee while I'm touring. It's a Tennessee, but she luring. And that sucker duck bitch ass boy, fuck nigga over that bit mug. And I say, if that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. How can I keep that stick locked, loaded, but he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named the Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft cold shit, we bout it. UPK, you solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch. You a lame nigga down to me. Eat candy, but I'm sucker free. You a little nigga, ain't nothing to me. Base up, boy, I fit a beat. Yeah, AR-223. Draco with a magazine. Yeah, the clip run like limousine. I shoot your ass in the spleen. Boy, I bust your ass in the temple. We debating by the temple. Tell the truth, boy, you's a victim. And you're squirming off like a lizard. Nigga walk down my road. Why does nigga come down my road? Boy, come down my road. Boy, I charge your ass toll fee. I'm a real big priest, nigga. UPK play for keys, nigga. Commanding general get a damn order, but ain't nothing to me to damn kill you. I stuck his ass like a cat. All weapons, boys full of tech. Boy, like a close combat. Nigga got popped off for a neck. If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. How can I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named the Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft cold shit, we bout it. UPK, you solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch.
Christ said 7 women gonna be on one nigga in the end time. Nigga, fuck wrong with you, boy. Stressed by that damn whole ass bitch. Fake ass nigga too. Dumb ass motherfucker. Fuck you. Charlie.
Check out my style. I fall from a lane, girl. Watch me put it down, baby. She on the road, kick it around in my coupe. Me and you just cruising through the town lately. Ask you some questions, girl, do you mind? What will it take to make you mine, please? Told me be you and we can try. So I spit true, I change the whole thing. Check out my style. I fall from a lane, girl. Watch me put it down, baby. She on the road, kick it around in my coupe. Me and you just cruising through the town lately. Ask you some questions, girl, do you mind? What will it take to make you mine, please? Told me be you and we can try. So I spit true, I change the whole thing. No, I ain't giving up. I made an oath, I ain't giving up. Whoa, we on the phone getting spiritual. Then I remix the flow, getting in the check out my style. I fall from my lane, girl. Watch me put it down, baby. She on the road, kick it around in my coupe. Yeah, you just cruising through the town lately. Ask me some questions, girl, do you mind? What would it take to make you mine, please? Told me be you and we can try. So I spit true, I change the whole thing. Check out my style. I'm far from a lane, girl, just watch me put it down, baby. She on the road, can get around in my coupe. Me and you, we just cruising through the town lately. Ask me some questions, girl, do you mind? What would it take to make you mine, please? Told me be you and we can try. So I spit true, I change the whole thing. Check out my style. I'm far from a lane, girl, just let me put it down, baby. She on the road, can get around in my coupe. Me and you, we just cruising through the town lately. Ask me some questions, girl, do you mind? What would it take to make it mine, please? So maybe you and we can try. So I spit choo-choo, I taste the whole thing. No, I ain't giving up. No, I made an oath, I ain't giving up. Hey, we on the phone getting spiritual. And I remix the flow, getting in the air. Check out my style, I'm far from my lane, girl, just watch me put it down, baby. She on the road, can get around in my coupe, me and you, we just cruising through the town lately. I miss a question, girl, do you mind? What would it take to make it mine, please? So maybe you and we can try. So I spit choo-choo, I taste the whole thing. No, I ain't giving up. Hey, I made an oath, I ain't giving up. Whoa, we on the phone getting spiritual. And then I remix the flow, getting in the
All right, Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Junior Hanna. Today is ISUPK Austin's LASHAWAN QADASH class, which is the Holy Tongue, which is the ancient Hebrew. O forefathers spoke, right? With that being said, last two classes we did, we're in a series right now with constructed sentences, right? In order to construct a sentence, you gotta know that ideas are part of speech. You gotta know what, your verbs, adjectives, nouns, adverbs. I said adjectives already. Adjectives, I said it again. Anything else I'm missing, you get the idea, right? So first two classes was nouns. We went over proper nouns, pronouns, prefixes and suffixes on nouns, plural nouns, everything about nouns you need to know to construct a basic sentence or even to start speaking the LASHAWAN QADASH, the Holy Tongue. We went over. So now in this class, we're going to be going over adjectives. There's going to be a part series of adjectives, prepositions, etc. As you can see, the title of the class, right? So right now, we got to understand what is an adjective. What is an adjective for the class? What's the adjective? Right now, let me see. Sorry for the handwriting. That's how you spell adjective? No, this is how you spell it. Oh, yeah, right here. Adjective. Sorry, it's Hebrew class, not English class. You know what I'm saying? In Hebrew, you're going to make sure that you're going to write what you hear. I hear no goddamn C, so I didn't wrote it, but of course, let's get back to the point. All right, let's get back to it. So what is that adjective? Describes a noun, right? It describes a noun. All right, so a noun. Give me a noun. A noun we could use would be day, right? Day is a noun, right? So day is a noun. This is our noun. Day, you know what day in Hebrew is? Huh? It's Yawam. Yawam, right? That is day in Hebrew. So of course we're gonna write it in the Hebrew. We do a lot of stuff in the what you call it? In the Syrian. That's how I like teaching my class that way, just because let me write this real quick. Because when you read it, you're not really gonna see the ancient. You know what I'm saying? If I could write the ancient, I messed up actually. We caught it. Right? That would be that character I just wrote would be the ancient. This is also the ancient. So I tell my own self I write that, but boom. So y'all won't get confused, right? Yawam. That's the Syrian, that's ancient, right? Certain characters I remember more than others, like in that specific not dialect, but like characters, you know what I'm saying? Like the Syrian or the ancient. So this is ancient, that's the Syrian, right? So you got Yawam. If you was to look up ancient Hebrew, you're really not gonna see these on here, like modern, right? Modern ancient Hebrew. These are just letting you know how to pronounce it. When you see Yiddish, they have their dots and stuff on there to show them how to pronounce it, but that's not the same language. It's the same meanings, meaning definitions, words, but they have a different way of saying it, which is not correct, which is why it's Yiddish, because they stole our language right? It's Yiddish because it's like a mixture of Aramaic, which is the Hebrew, German, Slovak, all that Russian stuff. Why? Because they Esau, the Edomites, right? They Caucasians, right? So the adjectives describing noun. Today we're going to use day, a simple noun, to use to talk about this, right? So now we want to use our adjective, right? The adjective we're going to use today is good, right? That is our adjective for the day. How do you say good in Hebrew? Tawab, right? Tawab. I guess for the thing I just write both of them on here, right? Y'all like that? Got to, right? What's next? Wa. What's next? Boom, ba, right? These are connected, right? Then you write it in Assyrian, right? Boom, to, wab, right? Boom. To Syrian ancient, right? All right. So we have an adjective. We know what a noun is because we broke down nouns already, which is our right person, place, a thing, right? Day is a thing, right? So we have Yawam, we have Tuab. Now in English we say what?
Good day.
Good day. That's what we say. If I write this in Hebrew, like this is just implied as an A in front of here, okay? A good day, right? A good day. So have a good day, right? So good day. But yet, in Hebrew, the adjective, right? The adjective come where? After the noun. See, in English, we taught in this westernized world of living, we was taught that it makes sense for adjective to go before since it's describing. But in Hebrew, we always said it after, right? This is why understanding culture is a big thing into learning languages, right? So we understand it would be like this in Hebrew. Day, good, right? Why? My day is going good. Because Hebrew is a language would be like, woman, come sit, right? Come here, sit. It wasn't all that extra fluff, right? So now in English, since we translated it, is in their language, they have something like this, a good day. And Hebrew would be like, the day is good, right? But we wouldn't say this in Hebrew. We wouldn't say day good in Hebrew. That makes sense. We would say it in our native tongue, in Hebrew. We wouldn't say it. We would say it like this. We would say, what would we say? Yawam Tuwab. Right there, do I gotta say it out? We just connect these. Boom. Yawam. What else? Tuwab right here. Yawam Tuwab. Make sense? This is the basics what we're gonna be learning today. Now, right? So now we learn in the noun class about the prefixes, right? So when you say okay, we still use this one, the. Let's see, we use the in front of this, right? Say we wanted to add the good day, right? All right, the good day. How would you write this in Hebrew? What's the prefix for the? Ha. The sister said the prefix for the is ha, right? This is ha, prefix. Is it a prefix or a suffix? It's a prefix, right? So ha goes in front of what? Huh? Yawam, right? So now we have ha Yawam, right? Ha Yawam Tawab. The day good. The day's going good. That's what elongated. The day is going good. The day good, right? But this is not correct. You're not taking that away, but you're just missing something, right? If the prefix ha is in front of the noun that's in front of the adjective, you're gonna add ha again, but to where? Yeah. So let me. Hatawab. All right. Hayawam Hatawab. The day good. The good day. Right. The day. The reason I'm saying the day good because that's how like if I was to translate it literally like what it says, it'd be day good. Right. So now, so I'm not talking about what we just wrote down. I'm saying that just the words right here. But we understand that the adjective. Try not to confuse y'all. We understand that adjective comes where? Before. I mean, go after in Hebrew. But in English, it goes before. So say this was Hebrew class and we was teaching English. It'd just be the opposite of what I'm teaching. And I was teaching y'all how, in our language, it's like this. But in English, we had to put this in front. Right? Make sense? The reason, because basically when you teach in a class of this, I basically got to teach both English and Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? The language that you're translating to. If I was speaking Spanish, I would be breaking this down different depending on how Spanish is. Like Spanish have their own things. You know what I'm saying? Like we was talking about man, right? Man and woman. The word man and woman are two separate words, right? But in Spanish is what? Hermano. That's how you say it, right? Brother and sister is what? Hermano and what? Hermana. We're at the A and the O at the end, right? And that's in Spanish, so then we'll be breaking down that. Like, see, in our language, you got the A and the O, so this will help you remember to switch it over when you go into Hebrew, right?
So every time you add a prefix to the noun, you have to add it to the adjective.
Yeah, every time you add a prefix to the noun, no, every time you add the prefix the, not any prefix, but just the into the noun,
Okay.
it has to, it don't, if you want, okay, I don't want to confuse you, but the word, if the word is after it's an adjective, you put a ha in front of it too. That makes sense? The reason why I worded like that is because one of the last lessons we're gonna learn in the class right now is that is an exception for this.
Okay, I can wait.
You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, since it's right on the subject, we're gonna do that today, right? So good. So we got Hayawam Hatawab, right? Now, in the scriptures, right, you won't see. What have you seen this? Is this really wrong if I did this? No, but why not? Can you explain that? I just broke down saying if you have an adjective after it, that means you had to add that ha too.
It's probably just not good grammar.
No, not that. It's because, okay, what can good be?
Good.
Can good be a thing as well?
I guess.
Yeah, good could be a noun. So the only way that this works is this is a noun too. So you have Hayawam Tawab saying that the Tawab will be acting as a noun and not as an adjective.
Okay.
So like the king is good. Like he's good. He's a good guy. Like let me see if I have an example because I don't want to kind of confuse nobody, right? So actually I could do this for y'all, right? That's what I want to do. We share the screen right now. Present, share screen. Good definition, right? So right here, you see good has two different things. It can be an adjective, a noun, or an adverb, right? It has more down here, right? So we have good as an adjective of high quality. The food was good. It was good food, right? Mm-hmm. Now we go press the noun. Let me make sure they can see this online. Okay, perfect. Now when we go in here, right, it says good as a noun. Morally good forces or influences. The battle of good versus evil. In this case, evil will be a thing. Yeah. Right? He's not if I say evil man as an adjective describing the man, but it's saying evil as its own what? Entity. So the teachers can be a strong force for good. The difference between good and bad. Okay. All right. So that's the only way, basically, that you will see this. Hayawam Tawab. Now, I also could give you the one we're using today. good day, it could be found in 1 Samuel 25:8. So let me try to find that for y'all real quick. This will give y'all show y'all. I said 1 Samuel what? 25:8. On this blue letter Bible, sometimes it's hard to oh, there you go. 1 Samuel 25:8. Well, that's not it. 1 Samuel 25:8. Oh, Salakia. What was I just saying? Okay, 1 Samuel. Salakia, let me put this on the board for y'all on the screen. All right. Stop screen, present, share screen. 1 Samuel 25. All right. So this is 1 Samuel 25:8. It says, ask thy young man, and they will show thee the young man find favor in thine eyes, for we come in a good day. What's that? A good day. Yawam, H3 11:7, right? 31:17, H3117. Then good is H2896. Let me see if I can make sure they can see this. All right. And it says what? Tawab. Now I see how I'm reading this right here. And if I also type in the blue letter Bible, not the blue letter Bible, the what's the one we use? The Bible Hub Interlinear Concordance is going to say it how it's written in Hebrew, which is what I'm going to do for y'all because it'll be a very good learning tool. Right? It's very good for y'all to visualize this because it's in the scriptures. Who's the scriptures written by? Yeah, the children of Israel. So which is our black Hispanics, Native Indians, right? So the best way to see how the best way to show examples of how we talk in our cultures through what? Our records, right? 1 Samuel 25:8. Oh, let me share this screen right here. All right, 1 Samuel. Okay, 25. All right, so right here. Right. Right. So right here we have day comes first. Then right here has Tawab. Right here, Yawam Tawab. So I click on this. Tawab. It was good. That's what you see right here. Right. Now let's get back to the class just to show y'all how it had had the day before the Tawab. Right. All right. Now, adjectives also match gender, right? Yawam is what? The noun we're talking about. So what gender is it? There's only two different genders you could be.
What is it?
You got a 50% chance of guessing the right thing.
Male?
I done messed up my marker.
Is it a male?
Damn, man. You go ahead. You think it's male?
Yes.
You is correct. Oh. pushed that one down there. I thought I was pushing the wrong side. Let me get another marker real quick. Brown one. All right. She said, what is it? Now you want is masculine, right? Masculine. Therefore, Tawab has to be what? Masculine, right? Tawab is being used masculine. But now, what if we use this word instead of J, right? We're going to use land, right? Land, which is what? You never know what land is? It sounds, you probably know what it is when I keep writing it. Aratazah. Yeah, so that's land. But guess what? Some words, majority of Hebrews are masculine, right? But we understand that you can add a feminine during the different suffixes. But some words are already feminine. So aratazah is one of them words, right? So this is feminine, right? Feminine, right? So with that being said, an example is like this. Would Alma be masculine or feminine?
What?
Alma.
Feminine.
Feminine, right? Because it's what?
Is it mom?
Yeah. Now, with that, like we have Ak and Akwath.
Yeah.
Ak is brother, Akwath is sister. Akwath will be feminine, but you already know because the wath at the end. It's still different words, right? This one is just a whole different words that where you don't have a masculine form of it, right? Doesn't mean that it's only used for females, right? Feminine, but so now when you have a different, when a noun, the adjective changes based on the gender of the noun. So if it's a masculine gender, it's going to be the regular adjective. Okay. But if it's a feminine,
we gotta change the adjective
to feminine. How do you do that? So let me write this down. So we have, if I want to write good land, right? Mm-hmm. I would do what?
It'd be
aratazah first, right?
Right.
So I have aratazah. I don't know what they made that for.
The whole stuff out there. On a piece of paper.
Oh. Makes sense. All right. Aratazah, right? Mm-hmm. Now I have Tawab.
Would you put Wath at the end?
Wath? No. You realize Wath is really used sometimes. Well, Wath is like, I mean, that's a good guess. I said that's a good guess.
Yeah, or is it like, well, I know we use Kam is a male and then Khan is a female. Those are suffixes.
All right. So what you're gonna add at the end of this is ha.
Oh, come on.
But it's really going to be going. So you see how? See this little trick, right? See how when you have Tawab, it's like the wa and the ba, but it's not ending the ba. What I'm gonna do is complete the ba and cut off the ha.
Okay.
Tawaba, right? Aratazah Tawaba, right? If I was to write this in Hebrew, right, this is what it would look like. So we have aratazah. Okay. I'm gonna write it like this. I don't want to write underneath it because it'll get confusing. Because in Hebrew we write right to left, right? Okay. So we have what you want in Assyrian or ancient? Assyrian. All right. So we have what?
Ra. Taza.
Taza. That's a good catch. Because before you have ta, you have taza. We know it ends off with taza.
If they sit next to each other, they are 9 times out of 10 going to be the same character.
Aratazah, what? Let me see if they can see on the board.
Ta.
Let's see. Let me move this. All right, that's good. Matter of fact, hold up. All right. Awad is out to Waba. So what we got right here?
To.
So this is to what? To.
Wa.
Wa.
Ba. Ha.
All right. Awad is out to Waba, right?
And
Simple.
I probably already asked this, previously, but like when it gets into the ancient, we read in that line of concordance, we just have to know when to drop the letter and when not. So that's just something you learn as the more.
Wait, what happened?
I'm saying like when you in the ancient and like you're reading in the inner concordance, not the inner concordance, but
that's it.
When you're reading in there, you just gonna have to learn as you go when to drop the last letter and when not to.
What last letter?
So like if I was reading, they don't have the connectors on there in the Assyrian.
Oh, you're talking about how to pronounce it?
Yeah, so like
because sometimes the key is this.
Wabaha, but it's gonna look like that in the
Well, you know that majority of Hebrew, Hebrew, a lot of words end off with H at the end. So when I see ha, I know like majority of words don't have that ha. You really don't say whatever you're saying with a ha. It's really like a ah. It sounds like a ah. Okay. Why? Because all Hebrew has what after the first character? Abba. Well, not everyone, but the only one that's different is ah, of course, right? Yeah. But ba, ga, da, ha, wa, ga, what at the end of it? A. So I know that this is going to end up with the H. Why some words is like it will sound the exact. You gotta stretch it out because it's exact the same way. Because you just have an H at the end, right? Some words would be. I wish I had an example. Man, I had a good example. Basically, you would have like a word that would end off with A, and to make it a different word, or like you said, add the feminine to it, you would just add the H to it. But it's like almost the same thing, right? Because the way you pronounce it.
Is it? Well, I see some people use that with a da. Some people.
Right, something like that, right? Like I said, I could have got a better example, but that makes sense though. Yeah. Because some of them, like this one, actually, okay. Don't get this confused. We did not add a. We added a ha.
Right.
Right. To wab. To wab. To wab.
To wab.
Yeah. To wab. Right. Because if we didn't, we'd have been to wab ha. To wab ha. That's right. That's not right. All right. So let me erase this. Check my phone real quick. All right. Now what's next? Now, if adjectives rely on the gender, what else will we have to rely on?
Whether it's past tense or present.
So, not so, but you close. Plurals.
Oh.
Plurals and singulars, right? Okay. But that's always dependent on what? Everything adjectives is always depending since it describes what. So it depends on noun. So whatever the noun does, that's what it looks in. Okay, so for example, we said good day because good day was what? A singular. So the word to wild was singular, right? But if we want to use houses, right? Houses in Hebrew is Bathyam, right? See this yam, you see a lot of plurals, right? So if I want to say good houses, right? If I want to say, we know Tawab is good, right? If I want to say good houses, how do I say that? You said Bathium. Tawabia?
Yum.
Tawabium?
Yes.
That's what you said. So the sister said. Why you did that? Can you explain your answer?
Well, I just mirrored it, not from the last thing you told us, not with the feminine thing, but when we had to add the a prefix to the noun, we had to add it to the adjective. So I
Okay.
just did the same thing.
So the sister said that she lose her context of knowing that when we had used the prefix the, we added to the noun, we added to the adjective. And since we going over describing how that the noun relies on if the adjective relies on the noun, if it's plural or singular, it pays attention. So we know that it has to be different if it's plural. So something has to change with Swab. This is said, well, her guess would be that since it's Yam right here, it's Yam back here. But why Yam specifically? Because what is Yam a suffix of? No, what's the suffix of Yam? Like why? Like how come Yam is right here? Basically, why Yam is in Ba?
Because more than one house.
Huh?
Because it's a male.
No, what is Yam? Explain Yam.
I don't know. I don't know. Is that a suffix I should be knowing, huh?
Okay, what's the difference from Ak and Akyum?
Ak and Akim? It's brother and it's brothers.
So Yam, yeah, Yam is like the S.
Oh.
It's plural. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Yam is plural. It's plural.
Mm-hmm. It's like the S.
Now we can show you example. Let's double check your work. Deuteronomy 8 and 12.
I was right.
We're going to double check it.
Okay.
8. Oh, gotta show the class. Deuteronomy 8 and this is Deuteronomy 8 and 12. Goodly. Okay. So when you were everybody pay attention, right? Let me make this bigger for y'all. So when y'all see this, goodly is like what? Goodly H2896, which is good, right? This bottom word underneath is 2 Hebrew characters, right? Written in Hebrew. We got the top word and bottom word. The top word is the direct way it is written in the Hebrew text, right? So we have Tawab Yum. The bottom shows you the root word. So we understand that the top word has to have a suffix onto it, or it's changed depending on something. We got to find out why. We go down and see houses. We know that the nouns in Hebrew go before the adjectives, right? So we see that we got this word is wa. What is this word? It has wa, right? Ba yum, right? The root word is bayah, right? The reason why it's dropping that ya in the middle is because we got the wa in the front. What's the wa? We learned this last in the nouns class. House is a noun, right? What is in last class in nouns we learned about plural nouns. Sometimes you got to drop something. In this case, they dropped the wa, right? Now, that's Salaki. They dropped the ya. No, wait. Yeah, they dropped the ya, right? So the full for the word house, it would be bayah, but houses is bathium, right? And the Hebrew text right here has a y in front of that. You know why it has a y in front of it? Take a guess. This is on Blue Letter Bible. Think about it. Why would they have a y in the prefix? What's the prefix for y?
Prefix for Y is the
And that's why. So that's why the scripture says in the goodly houses, right? So now we see that the prefix. So you would say in the goodly houses, right? So you would think it'd be like waha, then the goodly, right?
Yeah, and the goodly. Yeah, and
But the wah and the ha don't go to the goodly.
it goes to the house.
Right. So in this case, it's not using the, but it's using and. And is not going to go, even if the scripture says and goodly houses, and that's what the English translation says, but in Hebrew it would be what? And houses goodly. So the and goes before what? On the houses. Right, it goes on the noun. So you see wa, right? Wa, bath, yum. The root word of houses is house, which is bayat. We added the wa on top, so we took away the ya, right? So now we go to tawab, and we see tawab yum. So we double checking our work. This is correct. This is right. This is how you write it, right? So if we go to the Hebrew Concordance, the Interlinear Bible Hub, we said this is Deuteronomy 8 and 12, right? Deuteronomy, Shalakia. Bear with me 1 second. 8 and 12. Let me show y'all my screen, what I'm looking at. Share this screen. All right. So when you see that, don't pay attention to the red, different translation. Let me see. Hold up. All right. Let me see. I can see my screen. All right. Perfect. All right. It says, well, we have and houses, right? Wa, bathium. See, houses is first, right? Then we have what's next? Tawab, yum. Good. Don't pay attention to the bottom, right? The bottom is just different translation, right? But it's saying it's giving a different, it's saying beautiful, right? And houses, of course, that's correct. Beautiful, good, synonyms, right? All right. Let's get back. So we understand everything so far, right? Now, the next thing I want to tell y'all was how in the beginning, how we said we seen it on the prefix on the noun and not the adjective. It's because the adjective is acting as a noun. You understand that in Hebrew we have same words that could be used as adjective, but also used as what? Nouns. Right? Now this is the thing. Now, this is gonna hate me, right? Not gonna hate me, but you wouldn't believe me if I said this. Hebrew does not like using adjectives.
Okay.
So like, well, how the hell we broke it down? We see how we have some ways it's used, right? But Hebrew does not like using adjectives. But they still describe things. So how do they describe something if you can't use an adjective?
They just didn't do they did different. They use adjectives, but it's different. Like it's like necessity adjectives. Like that's a big fence. That's a big hole.
No,
okay,
that's still an adjective.
But it's a different adjective than saying something's pretty.
Okay. Adjectives kind of describe appearance, right?
Yeah.
So they used verbs as adjectives. Why?
I don't know.
Because they have this is what you would call, you know how they say a westernized mindset?
Yeah.
They have the opposite of that. This is how people thought back then. Well, let me tell you this. Actually, we still do that today. Why? Because who wrote the scriptures?
We did.
Right? So in Hebrew, ancient Hebrew, instead of using adjectives to describe something, we used verbs because we describe things with actions and functionality, like the purpose and functionality of that thing, the action of that thing. That's how we describe something. So we use that today. Like if you describe like, you know about him, you're not gonna say, yeah, he a black man. You know, he a little tall. You don't describe people like that. We be like, you know, you might talk to somebody like, are you talking about that? Like you like, you know that girl from Shoemaker too? You talking about that girl that get around? You talking about that girl that's fast? Like, is she like, what we describing? We describing her character.
Like what she do?
What she do, the actions she do. She gets around town, she's a whore.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? All the old women say the girl fast. Is she running fast? No, she's fast. She's using a verb to describe her actions, to describe her. She said, oh, that girl, she got long hair. That's, you know what I'm saying? We really describe things. We describe things based on they functionality and their use.
Yeah.
So if you're a useless person, you're gonna be called useless. That boy good for nothing. He's useless, right? If you say somebody don't understand, you can say he's slow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's slow in the head. You know what I'm saying? That's what you would say. That's all what? Verbs. Now, who's the only people who talk like that? Black people. And that's how the scriptures are written. Because if the scripture said that if the scripture had something like he was slow, like we'd be like, he's slow of understanding. So like if we say he was slow, the people be like, well, this is talking about how fast he was, must never ran fast. We're like, no, the boy was just had trouble with understanding things. Right? Now, that's what you really see in scriptures in the Hebrew. It's just because why black people wrote the Bible, and that's how we talk today, right? A couple different type of verbs, just to let you know, be like we say things like he's a gentleman. Like we say that, oh, he's gentle. That's a verb. You know what I'm saying? Compassionate. You see how these spiritual words, like it describes the emotion. It's kind of like we broke down the nouns, how like when you seen a picture of the forest, you know, the westernized mindset would say, I see a deer. When, you know, back then, the ancient world, we would say we see a forest, the bigger picture, right? So compassionate, resourceful. You are describing somebody, but you're describing it with a verb, not an adjective, right? Now, just to give y'all off the end of class, we're going to write some definitions of different adjectives that's used commonly in the scriptures, right? Now, the reason why we break down adjectives is because although this is how we read in ancient time, you yourself don't have to, you know, if it's hard for you, I mean, you talk like that already. You know what I'm saying? You talk using verbs to describe something, so it'd be easier for you to use a verb, but don't think that you have to use a verb to describe something. There ain't no rule saying you have to use a verb to describe something. It's just how we wrote. Whoever the poet was writes a certain way. You know what I'm saying? The words he chooses to write. And people don't understand that. You learning these languages and these fundamental things in the language should talk how you want to talk. You don't have to talk like Jeremiah talk. So, goddamn, I don't know you can. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to speak like Paul spoke when they was translated in Greek. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? Like some brothers have a way with words. Like I'm not expecting a brother out there who like he got to study how Solomon was talking, right? Nah, you talking like we've been so much through oppression. We have our own way of talking. Times not even so much oppression, but times change. Nobody's speaking King's English no more. You know what I'm saying? It might be somebody now. It might be somebody from who speak King's English to adapt more to the ancient Hebrew, because that's how King English was, right? Less filler words, right? So with this, let's just write some definitions down. Call it a day. Next class, we talk about question sentences, prepositions, right? Then we probably lead on to verbs. The day after that, right? So we have meaning, masculine, got feminine, all right? So good, bad, evil. Good, bad, evil, great, large. Little, this, that, this, that, those, and those. All right, good. We just got done with good. What's this one?
Wow.
All right.
It is Tuba. Right.
Good wall. Small, little. What time?
Good time. Is that a G or a Q? Never mind.
Where? Right here?
No.
Right here? That's a Q.
Okay.
Quotan. I don't know why I made me think of Q-Tons. Not Q-Tons. Croutons, yeah. And this one is what again?
Tuba.
Give you a second to write that down. All right, so we got these. These are just not all. These are just common adjectives that's used in the scriptures. So we have good, which is tuwab, tuwaba, is feminine. Bad, evil is rai, right? It's feminine. Great, large is gudal, gudola is feminine. You see a lot of things have I at the end. The I makes it sound feminine, right? It's not the I as in the character I, but it's ha actually. It just it's just connecting to it. Small little quotan, quotana, right? This is right? Za'ath, right? That is hahawa, hahayam, right? Those is all. You see all a lot in the scriptures. It's like you see all connected like this. It'd be like this to a word. You know what I'm saying? Or the opposite way.
So there's no, it's just one word. There's no male or female. So it's always male.
Yeah, it's all in all. Yeah, I can write it again right here. Sometimes you see this though too. Rarely. Allah. Allah. All right. Which is also could be you know how we have Allahayim, right? Things like that. Power is Allah, right? So I'll show you something real quick. Let me see if I can search it. Matter of fact, hold up. We might erase it. I think it's this. I think it's actually Allah. Nah. I'm just gonna erase this. So not to confuse nobody. Because Allah is power. That's what Allah is. But it's like an informal way of power. Because if you really want to say power, powers. Say Allah or like that. All right. That's sometimes, sometimes you see on things it'll say like this is where is that? Oh, Shalaki, it is right. Allah. That's what you see. Allah will be power, right? This is just an exception. So remember I say usually ends up with ha. Allah, right? So, but for the most part, you can write it down, but I wouldn't recommend it, me personally. So I'm gonna erase it. Because they like sometimes when you do your own studying, you see that it says this could be used for those, but sometimes it's like one time is being used. You know what I'm saying? The whole scripture. Mm-hmm. All right. With that, that's the class for today. We kind of broke down a lot of stuff with the adjectives. There's a lot of basic things with adjective. What's the first thing we talked about? We talked about how it's flipped in Hebrew. In English, you say good day. In Hebrew, it would have been day good, which is what? Yawam Tawab. We understand if it says the good day, you would say ha Yawam, ha Tawab. We also mentioned that what else we did? Single. Male and female is what? Male and female. If you use a word like a rataza, which is what? Land is the feminine word. So I would say the noun first, a rataza, Tawab. Tawaba, right? Tawaba, right? Tawaba, right? Singular, what else? Plural. Singular and plural. Basically, we had yam using good houses. We know that we had house, which is bayat, but we made it plural, so it's bathyam, right? We talked about that in the last noun class, how sometimes you drop the ya in the front, the ya in the middle when you make things plural. And the wath, right? Wath is the dominion of it. We use wa. We use yum, right? Yum because it's plural houses. I like the idea a man can have multiple houses, right? Wath is also sometimes used is majority used as a feminine suffix, but it can be as plural, but as a dominion of, like you could have, it could be a group of fathers would be Abawa, right? So we had what we had Bathium, Tawabium, right? And then we start going into like the basics of the Hebrew culture, how it does use more verbs, saying things like that. He's compassionate, he's resourceful, he's greedy, I guess, stuff like that. That's how we talk at Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We the ones who wrote the scriptures. The white man would never be able to understand that. Right? So with that, I'm gonna give a courteous salute to the brothers. If you never pretty sure I broke this down already, right? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua Barakatam, right? Courteous salute to the sisters, Yahweh Shema Adan Ba'ashem Yahweh. Right.